Colorado High School Activities Association football is on B106 and B106.com. Tonight from Legion Field in Fort Morgan, it is homecoming night as the Fort Morgan Mustangs host the Weld Central Rebels. Good evening, everyone. Along with Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs defense is on a 14-quarter scoreless streak, and hopefully we can continue that tonight. The Weld Central Rebels finally were on the board last week against Vista Peak. They got a touchdown and 2 extra points, so they've only put up 8 points so far this season. And the Fort Morgan Mustang offense has been on a real strong roll in the last 3 games. So Kevin, I know they were talking to Coach Chisholm this week. I think they probably heard it on the pregame. They were asking about the homecoming week, the distractions that you have. I know as you as a former football coach, what kind of distractions did you have to work with getting ready for football games?
Well, you're trying to get your kids to focus on practice. You have that hour and a half with them after school each day. But at school every day, they're dressing up. They're trying to support their class. As the way Fort Morgan does homecoming, each class is battling against each other for the coveted Spirit Stick. By the way, a shout out to the sophomores this year who won the Spirit Stick. That was announced at the pep rally earlier this afternoon. So you have that going on all week long, activities. At lunch they have egg tosses, water balloon catching, those sort of things. Then on Monday night, I believe there was the Powder Puff football game. Wednesday there was a carnival and a bonfire over here at Legion Field that didn't get done till 9:30. And last night they had rough and tough volleyball as well as a volleyball game. The soccer team, I think, was in a close game and won right at the last minute. So there's all that excitement, and then today there's the excitement. There's the excitement for the dance tomorrow. It's just a lot of excitement and getting kids to focus in that. We saw that a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, when we snuck up on Mountain View in Loveland in my first season broadcasting the games, and that was a great victory for us. I can't remember. I don't think we ended up winning, but we surprised them and played really good against them. So, yeah, as a coach, you worry about that. I think with the defense playing the way it is, the offense pounding it, I don't think if it was a somewhat equal team or a team maybe one tier below us, we'd have to worry. But I'd be really surprised if Weld Central was able to put forth a sustained effort that would beat the Mustangs tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're going to go ahead and do the starting lineup. Fort Morgan lineup was brought to you by Cargill Beef. Cargill Beef is committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and continuously improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at www.cargill.com. And we will get to that lineup here shortly as we are getting ready to kick this game off. The opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. So Franny Gonzalez approaches, puts his foot into a nice deep kick, and is going to go into the end zone for the touchback. So the starting defense for the Fort Morgan Mustangs is senior Isaiah Lopez, senior Richard Herrera, senior Austin Cosman, junior Kyle Daniels, freshman Trey McBride, senior Eric Kimball, senior Brian Almanza, senior Eric Fluoff, junior Toby McBride, junior Jacob Fritzler, and junior Alexander Mai. So to start this game off tonight will be 1st and 10 on the 20 for the Rebels.
And we finally have a quarterback going under center for the first time in, 4 weeks.
Pretty much. Everybody's been trying to do a spread. They have a right up the middle, and he's not getting very far. Center of that Fort Morgan defense stopped him for about a yard gain, so we're going to call it 2nd and 9 from the 21 after that run. I didn't catch who that was.
That's Alex Rice, number 39, on the carry. And you're right, there's absolutely no opening up front. Fort Morgan's front 5, definitely a good offensive or a defensive line, and linebackers fill quickly.
So Weld Central comes out in an I formation, 1 receiver left, 1 right. It looks almost like the Fort Morgan offense. As he counts it out, it's going to be a handoff to the tailback, and he gets maybe a yard. We'll see where they end up putting it. We'll see if it's at about the 22. We'll go ahead and give him one. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8 from the 22 after another run. I believe that was the tailback that time. That
and the left, or the Fort Morgan's left cornerback's out there, a little extracurricular after the play. The refs never blew the whistle, and these guys are still trying to block each other. I think they need to blow the whistle when he's obviously down.
So shotgun formation now. Receivers, 2 receivers left, 2 right. So they get the snap out here in the pass. The pass is knocked up in the air and falls harmlessly to the ground in the backfield. So that will bring up a 4th and 8 for the Rebels. I think that was Trey McBride that came in from this right defensive end. Trey McBride stands, we don't have his. I know Trey's about 6'3" or 6'4" freshman, so and he had his hands up. Knocked that pass up in the air and then fell to the ground. We have receivers back for the punt. Tate Kimball and Kyle Daniels. It's over the head of the punter, goes into the end zone. Let's see if he falls on it, and it's tossed around. Fort Morgan picks it up, and they're going to give him.
That goes over the punter's head.
I don't know what they're.
Back into the end zone.
Okay, they gave him the touchdown for the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Wow.
So right off the bat, without even a possession, they go up 6-0. I don't know who came up with that ball right off the bat, but
24.
Brian Almanza.
Yep,
Brian Almanza
ran that one in. Don't know what the Weld Central guy was doing, trying to throw the ball back in instead of just taking the safety.
So we are in for the extra point try. The kick is down and up, and it is good. So at 10:27, the Fort Morgan Mustangs take the lead 7-0 over the Weld Central Rebels on B106 and B106.com. The Fort Morgan Mustangs up 7-0 here on a recovered punt, I guess you would call it. Not even a punt. It was hiked over the punter's head and into the end zone. The Rebel looked like he tried to throw it back out into the field of play and right into the hands of Brian Almanza, who was in the end zone. So a nice kickoff here by Franny Gonzalez, going to be taken about the 5 and then dropped. Fort Morgan gets down on him, knocks him down out about the 10. Let's see if what their forward motion will get him to.
Returned by Matthew Sims. Stacked up at the 10-yard line.
And it looks like right now they're going to put him at the 10. So the Rebels will try it again. 1st and 10 from the 10 this time. So the special teams putting points on the board early tonight. Not the first time that has happened this year. So the Rebels come out in a. I think we have a single tailback, 1 receiver left and 1 right with a tight end on each side. It's going to be a pass, and he is sacked in the backfield. Brought down by Eric Kimball and Toby McBride in the backfield. That takes it back to they're going to call it the 6. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 16 from the 6-yard line.
Right, and V-Hill's running as quarterback, although Gudka, number 7, has been the guy that's been running their show all season long. And he came in on the punt last time, but he hasn't been playing.
So two in the backfield, receivers left and right. It's going to be a handoff over the left side, and he will be dropped for a loss at about the 3. So that will bring up a 3rd and 19 from the 3. Weld Central going backwards here
3rd down and 18.
as the Rebels are trying to get on track here early.
Who was on that run last time, Brian?
I believe it was
Reese?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
So 1 receiver left, 1 right single back in the backfield, and I believe that is Alex Reese, a sophomore. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He does just get out of the end zone. He does get it up to about the 4.
Alex Rice on the draw.
So that'll bring up a
Stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
4th down for the Weld Central Rebels.
That puts Weld Central 4 carries for 0 yards on the night. And that's not counting the sack, which was a loss of 4. So -4 total offense, no first downs, total dominance again by the defense.
So 4th and 15 from the 5, they're calling it. This time he does get a left-booted punt. It's going to be taken by Kimball out about the 43, down to the 35, down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he steps out at about the 3-yard line, and I don't see any flags on the field.
3-yard line where he ran out of bounds.
He had a nice wall of blockers coming down the right sideline, and they're going to put that at about the 4-yard line, it looks like. Will be first down, 1st and 4 from the 4 for the Mustangs with 7:59 to go here in the first period.
So hitting again on all 3 cylinders, special teams play. You always like to see that after your defense puts the hurt on an offense.
So full house backfield with the Mustangs. Handoff to Toby McBride right up the middle. And we'll see it's going to be down to about the 2. So they'll bring up 2nd and 2 from the 2. After McBride takes it up the middle for a couple of yards.
You know, I think if I was playing Fort Morgan, I would just put all 11 guys in the box and say, if you want to run outside, run outside. But we're not going to, let you pound it down our throats.
So Fort Morgan up to the line of scrimmage, 3 backs in the backfield. Tate Kimball as the deep back. It's going to be to Toby McBride along the left side, and he will not be caught as he goes into the end zone on the far sideline for the touchdown. Puts the Mustangs up now 13-0 with 7:17 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, that was a nice off tackle left that he just bounced it outside and beat the Weld Central defender to the corner. And if you're Weld Central, all week long you've been thinking, we're going to surprise these guys. They're distracted. It's homecoming. This is our big chance. And I think their dreams are fading fast.
Kick for the extra point is up and good. So with 7:17 to go, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 14, the Weld Central Rebels 0. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. At Legion Field with Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs now up 14-0 after a 2-yard run by Tobin McBride and the extra point by Franny Gonzalez. So the Weld Central Rebels will get the ball for a 3rd time here in the first period. Franny boots it deep. It's going to be taken out about the 10, out to the 15, to the 20, up the middle, to the 25, 30, and he might go if they don't stop him. He's out to midfield, and he is down into Fort Morgan territory, down at about the 44-yard line. So they found a seam up the middle there of the coverage for the Fort Morgan kickoff team, excuse me. So that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Rebels.
Yeah, best field position for them of the night. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, other than JV time, that's the first time an opposing team's been across the 50 on Fort Morgan since the Brush game as well.
Yep. So 1st and 10 from the 44 for the Rebels. Receiver left and right with 2 in the backfield. Handoff up the middle. The ball is loose on the ground, and we're going to see where that it's been recovered by Fort Morgan. And they recover that at about the 48-yard line. So another turnover by Weld Central.
48-yard line for Mustangs will have it there. 1st down and 10.
So we may see how long it takes the Mustangs to put it into the end zone this time. They just keep pounding the ball. We have, possibly not. They have 2 receivers left and 2 right. With a 1st and 10 from their 48-yard line. around the right end is Tate Kimball. He gets it across midfield, breaks the tackle to 45-40, 35-30, and finally brought down at about the 27-yard line.
Tate Kimball.
Nice run by Kimball.
On the reverse. Shot by Robuski.
He had some nice blocks out here. He broke away from an arm tackle and then ran it out around the right end. We have two receivers left and two right again. The 1st and 10 from the 27 for the Mustangs. Joey Schneider in the shotgun formation. He rolls out to his right, looks downfield, and it's going to be a pass, but it's going to be an incomplete pass intended for Kyle Daniels at about the 10. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 27 for the Mustangs.
Lomberg and Duke on the cover. 2nd down and 10.
Fort Morgan up 14-0 with 6:40 to go in the first period. 2nd and 10 from the 27. I backfield, receivers left and right. Schneider under center. His handoff up the middle to Toby McBride, and he breaks it across the 20. He breaks it, it gets down to about the 16-yard line, and it looks like that will be enough for a first down for Fort Morgan. So they will put it at about the 16-yard line.
That was a nice play.
I'm glad they're out there trying to tackle that big running back. I wouldn't want to be out there trying to bring Toby McBride down.
Right.
So Eric Flugoff splits way left. Eric Kimball to the near side. I formation, Schneider under center. He waits, and it looks like there will be a, see if it's an offsides on Weld Central. And I believe that's what they're going to call it. Looks like the ref is pointing that way. And that's what it is. So that'll bring up a 1st and 5.
Like that drive start on the 48.
Start on the 48-yard line, yep. So that will bring up a 1st and 5 from the 11. I formation. Handoff to Tate Kimball around the left side. Cuts it back down inside the 5.
Right. He went outside and cut back, and the defender made a good job of tripping him up. And he gained enough to, well, I guess it's a timeout.
Timeout by Weld Central. So we'll go ahead and take one with them with 5:49 to go in the first period. The Fort Morgan Mustangs 14, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. On 2nd down from the 7, handoff to Toby McBride up the middle, and that will be enough for the first down. So that'll give the Fort Morgan Mustangs a 1st and goal from just in. See where they're going to put the ball down. They're going to. I thought he'd got across the 5. They're leaving it on this spot on the about this. They're calling it a 3rd down.
Yep.
30 yards.
So 3rd down for Fort Morgan. As Weld Central is packing everybody into the middle. Now it's going to be Tate Kimball outside. Nice block around the right side. He goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Nice block on the right end.
Yeah, that was Toby McBride. He pancaked this guy and left a wide open hole for Kimball.
Tate Kimball went right through there. They had, you know what you were saying just a minute ago about putting everybody up to the line of scrimmage to stop Toby. Well, they did. They just got burned by Tate Kimball.
Absolutely.
So that puts it up 20-0 now with 5:19 to go. Here in the first period as Franny Gonzalez will try the extra point in the hold of Joey Schneider. Snap back. The kick is up and good. So that makes the score Fort Morgan 21, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Legion Field with Kevin Rohde. This is Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs now up 21-0 with 5:19 to go here in the first period. As Tate Kimball takes it in from 6 yards out after a nice pancake block by Toby McBride around the right side. PAT is good by Franny Gonzalez. So Franny with the ball on the tee one more time. Puts his foot into it. Nice deep kick. It's going to be taken about the 10, up to the 15 to the 20. And it's going to be out to about the 24-yard line. So that will be a starting point for the Rebels.
Nice tackle there by 25, Angelo Rivera. Yeah, we talked about hitting on all three cylinders last time on kickoff return. We didn't do a very good job of covering. That time much better.
So you're going to put it right on the 25. So first and 10 on the 20 first and 10 on the 25 for the Rebels. High backfield, receiver split left and right. As Fort Morgan's defense gets ready to attack. Handoff, it's going to be a pass, and it's going to be intercepted by Austin Cosman at about the 27-yard line. Tipped it up first and then gained control. So it was a rollout to the left by Isaiah Vigil and threw it right in the direction of Austin Cosman, and he comes down with it. So that will be a first down for the Mustangs.
Brian, I believe it was the famous coach from the Green Bay Packers, Vince Lombardi, said when you pass, only three things can happen and two of them are bad. Well, he was wrong. There's four things and three of them are bad. They've had one sack, one interception, and one incomplete. Maybe they need to try and run some more.
Yeah. So T backfield, receiver split left and right, Schneider under center. Handoff up the middle this time, and that is to Frank Rosales. So Frank Rosales already getting some playing time here early in the game, so they just do get it. Gets it down to the 25. We'll call it down to the 24. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the 24 after that run by Rosales. Anthony Arroyo also in the backfield. He takes it right up the middle to the 20. Gets hit hard, but still fights for yardage, and he gets it down to the 15-yard line.
Anthony Arroyo over the right side.
So that will be a first down for the Fort Morgan Mustangs after Arroyo takes it almost 10 yards for the Mustangs.
Ball spotted at the 15. That's a Mustang first down.
You know, and those two kids have ran really good for the second team and put a huge amount of effort. It's nice to see them get a chance to run behind the starting line, but now the starters are back in.
Toby McBride, Tate Kimball in the backfield. Eric Kimball split right, and a receiver left. It's going to be a pass as Toby is passed down to the 5 and into the end zone to Austin Cosman for the touchdown. Austin Cosman takes it from Joey Schneider, catches it at about the 5, runs it in, makes the score 27-0 with 4:03 to go in the first period.
Yep, you know, here you have, we talked about their passing woes. Snyder 1 for 1 for a touchdown, or 1 for 2 for a touchdown. Had the one incomplete earlier.
So Franny Gonzalez to try the point after. We have a flag thrown on the before the snap of the PAT. They're having a little conference out by the players. We'll see what they are going to call. Looks like it's offsides on Weld Central. They must have lined up in the neutral zone. There's a dead ball offsides. So they will set up to try the point after one more time. Joey Schneider, the holder. Franny Gonzalez is the kicker, and I believe Alex Mai is the snapper for the Mustangs as they get the okay to put the ball in play. Snap back, kick up, and again, it is good. So the Fort Morgan Mustangs now up 28-0 over Weld Central with 4:03 to go in the first period on B106 and B106.com. Back at Legion Field with Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs have now just gone up on the Weld Central Rebels 28-0 on a 15-yard pass from Joey Schneider to Austin Cosman. PAT good by Franny Gonzalez. So we'll see if Franny can, as his leg loosens up, if he can get it into the end zone for the touchbacks. It's been coming down about the 10. That looks like a little deeper kick. It's going to be about the 7, out to the 10, to the 15, up the middle of the 20, and up-ended at the 15 by, I believe that is Frank Rosales.
Not only does he run hard when he's got the ball, but he lays the leather on defense, too. Good special teams play by Rosales.
So a nice effort there by the Fort Morgan special teams. So the Rebels will take over.
Let's see if they can get the second down. They've turned it over on first down the last 2 times they've had the ball.
2 receivers right, 2 left. Snap on the ground. And there's going to be a little bit of a loss after the snap was never got up above the grass. So it'll be a 2nd and 11 from the 24.
Second down and 11.
You know, it's one thing when your line has a hard time handling the defense, but when you can't even get the ball and have a clean handoff, that's got to be very frustrating for the Weld Central coaching staff.
So 2 receivers right, shotgun formation, 2 left, single back in the backfield. As he gets the snap, looks over to the right side, and the ball is out of the hands because Richard Herrera laid the leather to that receiver out there on the right side. Nice hit by Richard Herrera to dislodge that ball out of the hands. I believe that's number 15, Dustin Robluski, a 5'9" senior.
That's one of those where they talk about it, on college and pro games where the receiver's going to go back and talk to the quarterback, don't lay me out like that again. The kid made an excellent effort trying to get that ball. He had no idea that he was going to get rocked like that.
So it brings up a 3rd down now, 3rd and 11 from the 24 for Weld Central. Going to be a handoff over the right side, and he is going to be brought down at about the 25. He might get back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage.
Alex Reese on the carry over
So we'll give him that yard, bring up a 4th and 10
Brings up a 4th down and 10.
for Weld Central as Tate Kimball and Kyle Daniels are back at the Mustang 45-yard line. Unless they're going to punt from a real shallow formation. He's going to back up now. It looks like the punter is also their running back, Alex Reese. Left-footed punt, and it's going to be into the hands and out of the hands of Tate Kimball. He picks it up at the 35, to the 40, 45, to the 50, down the right sideline. It's the 40, another block, and he is going to go down at the Weld Central 35-yard line.
Nice run back there by Tate Kimball. The officials missed a little bit of a block in the back by one of the Fort Morgan blockers, but they can't catch them all, and it wasn't too flagrant either.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs as they lead 28-0 with 2:23 to go here in the first period. On homecoming night from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. So trips left, Daniel split right, and Tate Kimball in the backfield. Schneider under center. He rolls out to his left, looks downfield, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. It was a short pass. Eric Kimball had tripped and gone down at about the 20, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 35.
Yeah, Snyder not very comfortable in the pocket that time. He had a defender on either side, and he definitely got hurried and wasn't able to get all into it. Plus his receiver fell down running the route.
And that's hard for a right-handed passer when you're running left to try to get a good ball downfield when you're almost having to cross over your body when you're doing that. And so now I formation to Toby McBride over the left side, and not much there. You'll get a couple.
McBride over the left side.
So they will take it down to about let's see if they can mark it about the 33. So it'll be 3rd and 8 from the 33 as McBride takes it for 2. As we're down to 2 minutes left in the first period.
Other than that 111-yard run, Weld Central doing a good job of containing McBride. He's got carries of 2, 2, 0, and 2, other than the 111-yard.
So they're shutting up the middle pretty good. So I backfield. Going to be a handoff over the right side. Oh, and nice tackle there by the
left side is tripped up.
Rebel, his name is Dalton Robertson, as he grabs the ankle of
It's going to be 4th down and 6.
Toby McBride. He does get it down to about the 31-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th down for the Mustangs, about a 4th and 6 from the 31. In the high backfield, it's going to be a handoff to Tate Kimball around the left side. And he goes down, he slips it, and he's going to be short of the 1st down. He had more running room, but his left plant foot came out from under him.
7-yard line.
So Weld Central holds on this set of downs and will take over at the 28-yard line.
I think that's the first time we've turned it over on downs or would have had to punt in quite a while too, Coach.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that's happened either. Yeah. So Fort Morgan up 28-0.
Did Fort Morgan take a timeout?
Well, I didn't see who it was that took the timeout. Somebody did take a timeout. I did not catch who it was. But the first Fort Morgan score of the game was brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. When you need banking advice, stop by and see one of their loan officers Monday through Friday at 321 Ensign. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference. Northeastern, live in your world, learn in ours. For more information about Northeastern or classes available to you, go to www.njc.edu. Tune in to 1010 Preps and More weekdays from 1 to 2 on 1010 KSIR for the latest in high school sports with John Beltran. So 1st and 10 for the Rebels with 1:05 to go here in the first period. Going to be a handoff over the left side. That's been their best gain of the night so far. He gets it out across the 30, out to about the 31.
Alex Reese over the left side, stacked up by Alex Mai.
Alex Mai with the tackle on that, so that will bring up about a 2nd and 6 from the 31 for the Rebels.
That 4-yard carry, the longest carry of the night from offense.
So one receiver right, one left, single backfield. Under center is Reese. He hands off to the right side. He drags a couple of tacklers with him. Gets a couple of yards, maybe out to the, let's see, about the 33 if they see where they mark it at.
Right over the right side.
So that will be about a 3rd and 5. Let's see where they end up putting that at the 33. And that's going to bring the first period to a close. The Fort Morgan Mustangs 28, Weld Central Rebels 0 on B106 and B106.com.
Weld Central 0.
Back at Legion Field with Kevin Rohde. This is Brian Nickel. The Weld Central Rebels find themselves down 28-0 at the start of the second period, as it will be a 3rd and about 5 from the 33.
3rd down and 4.
For Weld Central.
Will they get their first down of the night, or will Fort Morgan stop them and force a punt?
Let's see what they come out with on a play. One receiver split way left, one near side with a single back. Under center is Reese, and he is going to roll out to his left. It's going to be a pass out here into the flat, and it will be enough for the first down for Weld Central, as it was number 88, and that is Brennan Sampson, a senior.
First completion for Weld Central for B. Hill.
First down at the 41-yard line.
So the first down for Weld Central.
Homecoming activities, the winner of this year's.
They'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Under center with the receiver left and right, single back in the backfield. It's going to be a rollout to the left, and he gets it out almost to the 45-yard line. That looks like that's where they will mark it at. So that will bring up a 2nd and 6 from the 45 after that 4-yard run by Isaiah Vigil, a junior, 5'10 junior, 150 pounds.
Weld Central playing with a little more passion here in the second quarter. A couple good plays put together.
So it brings up a 2nd and 6 from the 45. One receiver left, one right. It's going to be a handoff over the left side to their big back, and he is going to get about 3 yards. Let's see where they finally mark it. Looks like it'll be about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, another nice carry by Reese. Fort Morgan seems to maybe not be plugging the line quite as well. I'm sure coaches are a little concerned, even though you're ahead 28-0. You want that shutout as they talked about in the pregame.
Yeah, they Weld Central moving the ball here. 3rd and 3 from the 48-yard line. Going to be another rollout to the right. It's going to be a pitch to the backfield. He is going to be taken down. Nice rundown out there. And that is Isaiah Lopez who brings down their back, Alex Reese, as he takes him down about 3 yards back to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that was a really good defensive play by Fort Morgan. And here they put in their punt return team.
So Tate Kimball and Kyle Daniels back for the Mustangs at about their 25-yard line.
I think I would be telling my punter maybe let Daniels run one back. Nothing against Daniels, but Tate's tearing him up.
Yeah. Back to Tate Kimball at the 25, across the 30, 35, 40, 45, across midfield for the Mustangs.
Vigil had to make the tackle there, and he's probably the safety back there.
So after a nice little drive there, 6 plays, they did have to punt back to the Fort Morgan Mustangs with about 9:42 to go in the second period.
Mustangs would like to salute the Weld Central fans and welcome to our homecoming.
So we'll see what Morgan comes out with here in their first possession of the second period as they line up in the I formation. Going to be a handoff over the right side to Tate Kimball across the 45, the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tate Kimball over the right side. Once he broke through that line, he was untouched. That puts the Fort Morgan Mustangs up 34-0 with 9:33 to go here in the second period.
And we didn't talk about it, but we actually made it into the second period without going into the running clock. I think thanks to Weld Central running the ball a little bit more than the teams that we played the last 3 weeks passing. But it won't be long, and we will be having that running clock.
Thinking the defense can hold, and one more touchdown here. So Franny Gonzalez snap down, kick is up, and it is good. So 9:33 to go, second period. Fort Morgan 35, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. The Fort Morgan Mustangs now up 35-0 with 9:33 to go here in the second period as Tate Kimball runs it in from 47 yards out, and the PAT is good by Franny Gonzalez.
And if you hear that sound, that sounds like gunshots or whatever. We are not under attack. The Fort Morgan Volunteer Fire Department, a tradition, letting off fireworks at homecoming games, every score, and then the big display when they announce the King and Queen.
So Franny Gonzalez has the ball teed up at the 40. Kind of a squib kick this time, bounces at the 20, picked up at about the 7, out across the 15 to the 20, the 25, and finally brought down by Richard Herrera at about the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 29 for the Rebels, with 9:27 left here in the opening half. And they will mark that at about the 29. 1st and 10. Weld Central here on a beautiful night in Fort Morgan, homecoming night. Couldn't ask for a better evening for homecoming and football all in one. So,
although a lot of people talking about 90-degree weather on September 26th, we may pay for it in January. But we'll see.
So one receiver right, one left, single back in the backfield. Going to be a keeper by the quarterback as he goes back to pass. He is going to be sacked. And that looks like Richard Herrera, Trey McBride kind of ganged up on him there in the backfield. So that's going to be a loss of 2. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 12 from the 27. Go ahead.
Be interesting to know why their B.J. Gutka, the guy who played quarterback for him the first 3-4 games, isn't in. He's not even in on offense. He's sitting over there.
So same formation. It's going to be a handoff over the left side. Going to be a flag. Throw it probably at the line of scrimmage where they usually have holding. He does get the ball out to about the 33-yard line, so we'll see what the flag is.
Alex Mai out there, having a great game, having to be double teamed, and then we'll see whether he was held to boot, even though chop block. So one guy had him high, and another guy came and hit him low. That's the only way to stop those Fort Morgan defenders.
Yeah, they've got a strong defensive front line. You've got Trey McBride and Alex Mai. They're also wrestlers for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So they will accept the penalty. And that will take it back, clear back down to about the 17-yard line. So that will bring up a 2nd down once again. But this time from the 16-yard line. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 23 for the Rebels as they trail 35-0 with 8:39 and counting here in the 2nd period. Receivers right and left. Under center is Vigil. He hands off up the middle and he drops the ball. And we'll see. I think Fort Morgan has gotten on it. I thought I saw a Mustang rolling around with the ball. And they did.
Wow.
And that is Austin Cosman, I believe, that came up with the fumble recovery. So we may be going here to a running clock here shortly as the Fort Morgan Mustangs are up 35-0 with 8:17 to go here in the 2nd period.
Fort Morgan's drives have been 2 plays, about 7 plays, 3 plays, and 4 plays and 1 play, so it'll be very soon.
So full house backfield. Schneider drops the ball, picks it up, and does get some positive yardage out of it. But I believe he was already down when they had a Rebel jump on the ball about the 15, but he was already down, and he gets it down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. So we'll give him a gain of 5 on that, so he'll bring up a 2nd and 5 from the 13-yard line. Another full house backfield pitch around the right end, and that is to Elliott Wunsch. He gets down far enough for the 1st down, gets it down just inside the 5. So Elliott Wunsch with a nice run there for the Mustangs. So it will be a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Joey Schneider runs back out to the huddle. We'll see who they have in the game for the Mustangs. In the backfield, looks like Toby McBride. Tate Kimball is the deep back, and another back in there. I can't see it. Handoff to McBride up the middle and into the end zone for the Mustangs. So that makes the score now 41-0, and the clock should keep running. Puts it up now 41-0, waiting for the PAT. So with 7:12 left here in the 1st period, the Fort Morgan Mustangs go up 41-0 on a Toby McBride run of 5 yards. Snap is down and no good. So Schneider looks to throw it, and it's going to be caught by Toby McBride into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. But then we had flags thrown in the end zone. I'm not sure and I don't know why the clock is not running. It is now 43-0. So we need to see what the penalty was. I don't know if he hit him as he went by into the end zone.
Well, they don't seem to be wanting all the teams to come back out, so we're hoping it's against Weld Central.
Because the referee did signal it was good.
Oh, personal foul against Fort Morgan.
Must have been after the play, apparently.
So we're going to have to retry the down, or?
Well, I think they may do it on the kickoff. It was a dead ball. I'm not sure just what it was.
Yeah.
Usually when it's on that, you have to retry. So,
and I think it's against Weld Central because they're moving
okay.
back.
It is. So. They got their wires crossed here. There was unsportsmanlike conduct or something going on, and I don't know why they don't have the clock running.
So the kickoff is going to be spotted.
That makes it 43-0. Fort Morgan on the run by Toby McBride.
The referee signaling run that clock.
And then the 2-point conversion.
Could I have your attention, please?
Also by Toby McBride. And they do get the clock to run. Franny Gonzalez now will kick off from the 45-yard line of the Rebels. So he should get this one into the end zone. Franny Gonzalez kicks it out of the back of the end zone. So it's 6:49 to go. And counting. Weld Central will take over. 1st and 10 from the 20. And see if they can get any kind of offense going whatsoever. And I'm going to guess right now they're not. If they leave this first team defense in there, the only points that Weld Central has scored this year was last week against Vista Peak. Got the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
I didn't ever see the box score, whether that was towards the end, like against their.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either. So 6-12. Receivers left and right. Handoff over the right side. Gets it out past the 20. He'll get it out maybe to the 23. We'll give him a carry of 3. So they'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the 23 after that run. And that looks like that was by
27, Urker.
Jake Urker, a junior running back.
Only his 2nd carry of the night. Not much more success than the last time where he got 1 yard.
So they have one receiver right and one left as Max Smaley goes left. And it looks like Dustin Robluski goes right, and he goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, though, and that doesn't fool the Fort Morgan Mustangs, as Colton Carpenter is one of the Mustangs in there, along with Richard Herrera, Trey McBride, and a whole bunch of Mustang defenders there. They do get it out to the 25, so they'll bring up a 3rd and 5 from the 25 after that 2-yard run. Same formation for Weld Central. Quarterback under center. It's going to be a handoff over the right side, and he gets about a yard out. See if they give it out to the 26. That'll bring up a 4th and 4 from the 26. At least Weld Central. Of course, it doesn't matter now. We're into a running clock, so 4th down and 4 from the 26 for Weld Central. With Isaiah Behill still at the controls for Weld Central. So we'll see if Fort Morgan sends somebody deep. They don't have anybody deep right now. As Behill is in there, it's only 4th down. So apparently they figure they'll get a little. He's going to be sacked in the backfield by Richard Herrera. As he comes around from his left defensive end, Richard Herrera takes down Behill at about the 20-yard line. He had no idea he was coming. He went around. He was looking to his left, Richard Herrera came from his right, and he sacked him back at the 20.
And now,
Third sack for the Fort Morgan
Grand
defense.
Slam winner of the Corvette convertible. And the trip to Mazatlán.
So 3:37. First and 10 for the Mustangs from the 20 as they line up in a T backfield. Receivers left and right. Schneider under center. Handoff this time over the right side. That's to Rosales as he gets it down to the 15-yard line. It's a nice 5-yard run there by Rosales down to the 15. See who else. Fluhoff is in there. Eric Kimball still in the game. Looks like they're still keeping their first string offense in the game.
You know, one nice thing about all this JV time is when we play Lutheran next week, if the starters need a breather, you know you're not stepping off too much by putting in a
handoff to Anthony Arroyo on the right side, and he takes it in from 15 yards out. Anthony Arroyo on the 15-yard run makes the Fort Morgan Mustangs now 49, Weld Central nothing, and 2:38 and counting here in the first half of play. So we'll wait for the PAT by Franny Gonzalez as they get the tee set up for the extra point try.
Yeah, that was a nice big hole for Arroyo, and he saw the daylight and ran to it. Excellent job by the offensive line and by Rosales.
So the PAT was good by Franny Gonzalez. So that now makes the score 50-0 with a minute 47 and counting here in the first half as Anthony Arroyo takes it in from 15 yards out. So Franny Gonzalez getting his workout in again. Equitable Savings and Loan, Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. With locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush, they have the financial solutions for you. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery, your perfect combination. Open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and Saturday 7 until 4. Stop by and see them at 921 Edison Street in Brush today. For scoring updates throughout the course of the football season, follow us on Twitter at B106 and on our B106 Facebook page. So another deep kick coming down at the 5, 10 to the 15 to the 20, across the 25, and they will get it out to the 26-yard line. So it'll be first and 10 from the 26. We'll see if they get a playoff. They may get one off. They're down to about 30 seconds now here in the first period. We'll see how much of a hurry they are. They should get one playoff here before the end of the first half. Rebels with 2 receivers left, 2 right, shotgun formation. It's going to be a fake, but it's going to be taken down for a sack at about the 23-yard line. So that will bring the first half to a close. So at the end of the first half, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 50, the Weld Central Rebels 0. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. They do give the ball finally to the kicker for Weld Central. So he gets it set up on the tee, get ready to start the second half of action here from Legion Field in Fort Morgan as they lead this game 50-0 over Weld Central.
I'm thinking that kickers, for some reason, can only find orange shoes.
That's a nice deep kick. It's going to come down at about the 10. Oh, it's going to be kind of a tricky play here out to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Terry Klugoff, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Fort Morgan on the opening kickoff of the second half. 56-0 as Eric Klugoff takes it 90 yards for the return.
Yes, all 3 facets, and that wasn't even the return man. You know, I don't know whether he was one of the deep guys, but the second guy caught it And I can't remember who caught it. Was it him? And he faked all the handoffs and then took
No,
off
I
with
think it was handed off to him. It might have been Tate Kimball. I'm not sure.
I don't think it was Tate because it was the second row up. It wasn't
Okay.
the deep guys. But wow, did that work?
56-0. So we're still don't know who's going to be out for the Fort Morgan offense, as the defense will now take over once we try the PAT. Snap, kick is up, and it is good. 57-0, Fort Morgan on B106 and B106.com. Oh, back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have just gone up 57-0 on a 90-yard kickoff return by Eric Flugoff. And I did not realize he was that fast, but once he broke through that line of defenders, nobody was getting close to him. And it looked like he kicked in those afterburners about the 25, right. And he wasn't even challenged. The right side of that return team opened that up. You got to drove a semi down through there, and he just ran it through there down for the touchdown. That's something we haven't seen this year. So that it gives it gives Lutheran and the other teams that we're going to be playing just a little something else that they have to prepare for as they watch their film of the Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Yeah, I'm thinking Lutheran's probably thinking that next week is their last challenge till the playoffs, and they'll be able to coast. There was a procedure penalty on the extra point, so we're going to have to re-kick that one.
Okay.
It looks like we have a
I did not see the penalty.
extra point at 10.
So they will re-kick. It looks like they're putting it at the same spot as it was.
So let's do it again.
Yep, and there he goes. He finally figured out, oh yeah, there was a penalty.
Oh, yeah. They were the ones discussing it. I think they would know where they need to put it.
Right.
So that will take it back to, the 8-yard line?
Right, and I don't think that's going to make any difference for Franny, the extra 5 yards.
So see if we get the snap and the hold down for Franny. As they get set, ball down, kick is up, and it is good again.
Still good.
So still 57-0. And that's something that Kevin likes to hear after Fort Morgan football games.
I tell you what, they had to buy an extra keg of powder this year for that cannon that's been going off. Of course, we only have 4 home games this year. Next year, looking forward to being here 6 times. And, of course, the brush game, is always a big game for Fort Morgan, and then pretty much reversing the schedule with the rest of the teams that we've played.
Yep, so Franny Gonzalez ready to tee up the ball. I see what you're talking about, the kickers with the orange shoes, because Franny's is also orange.
Not quite as bright as the other teams. Maybe that's because he hasn't had as many times to kick off as Franny has.
Yeah, he's wore the color off a little bit on his shoes. So all this is going on, and the clock keeps rolling. So Franny puts his foot into it, and it looks like it's going to be taking about the 3, the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and out to about the 26 or 27. And it looks like the second string defense will be going out for the Mustangs.
And with that running clock, we're already 3.5 minutes into the quarter, and we haven't had an offensive play.
So 1st and 10 from the 26 for Weld Central, with 8:30 to go here and counting in the third period. Under center with one receiver left and right. Handoff over the right side. Handoff up the middle. And they may get a couple of yards there out to the 28, so we'll call it a 2nd and 8 from the 28 for Weld Central.
Leaving their starters in.
They didn't bring a lot of kids. I think we had counted earlier. There was about 24 kids that they brought tonight for this game, and I don't know if that's an indication of the numbers that they have out for football this year, or they just don't bring a lot of kids on the trip. So 2nd and 8 from the 28. 2 receivers left, 2 right in the shotgun formation. 1 receiver in motion, but he goes towards the line of scrimmage, and they will stop the play.
Got a flag.
We might have had Fort Morgan jump off. One thing that I just noticed, I was told that the Weld Central cheerleaders were going to be coming and visiting tonight. And, of course, they were the ones that won the league championship last year. So it was a big deal for the cheerleaders to get ready for that. And I noticed that they are over there. And just not having very much to cheer for.
Not much going on. So that will bring up a 2nd and 13 from the 23 as they mark off the 5 yards against Weld Central as they run that play again. And now they're going to call another flag. Let's see what the penalty is this time.
We've got another.
That's going to be against Fort Morgan again.
Well, last one was against
Or
Weld
if it's going
Central.
to Weld Central, yeah, excuse me. So we'll see. They're discussing it with the line officials on each side. So this time, it's another procedure penalty against Weld Central, so that'll back them up another 5.
All right, possibly the coach of Weld Central, Mike Brown, had a little bit of experience in the Canadian Football League, and is running one of those plays where the motion guy can be coming back to the line of scrimmage, and that doesn't know that that's not allowed here.
So 2nd and 19 from the 19-yard line. Let's see if he gets it right this time. Now he runs down the line like he's supposed to. It's going to be a keeper in the backfield, but it's going to be a loss of about a yard on that keeper by Isaiah Vigil, excuse me. So that will bring up about a 3rd and 20 from the 18-yard line.
Lost the yard. 3rd and 19.
So we're on the 18-yard line.
Not going well for them.
Nothing can go right now for the Rebels. At least their clock is running. One receiver left and right, single back in the backfield as the Mustangs bring everybody and hand off up the middle. And Jesus Ibarra with a stop on the play. Now we have another flag on the field. So we'll see what this flag is about. Face mask on Fort Morgan. I don't believe it was
It's a face mask on the Mustangs, looks like.
personal foul. They didn't indicate it to start off with anyway. So we'll see if it's the 5-yard type. So yes, it is a personal foul. Fort Morgan face mask. So that will put it out across the 35 out to the 38-yard line. So that will be enough for the first down.
So the ball is placed at the 38-yard line.
So first down by penalty
First down and 10.
for Weld Central. So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 right in a shotgun formation. Looks to throw down the center of the field, and it's going to be well over the head of the intended receiver at about the 40-yard line. And that was over the head of Wesley Horton.
Horton did get behind the defender. Just a terrible pass, 5 yards too far.
So I see we have the second team in here. I see Dawson Frick out there for the Fort Morgan Mustangs along with Jesus Ibarra. Tyler Dunn is out there along with Angelo Rivera, a sophomore. So under center, receivers left and right, single back in the backfield. Looks to throw. It's going to be over the middle, and it's going to be caught and into Mustang territory. So a nice catch in traffic there for Weld Central as they get it down to the 45-yard line. So that will bring up another first down for Weld Central at the Mustang 45-yard line.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 45-yard line. That's a Rebel first down.
45-yard line. The Fort Morgan Mustangs lead this game 57-0 with 2:56 and counting here in period 3. As Vigil is in the shotgun formation, one receiver right and left. He looks to hand off over the right side, and the runner is taken down immediately And we'll see if we have that number. It's number did not catch that name or the name. It's the number 75, but I do not have a number 75. We have two different rosters here, and I do not see a 75 on here.
Well, he made a great play. So, Mom, Dad, if you're at home and your kid's 75, you can congratulate him on that play when he gets home.
So about a 2nd and 13 from the 48-yard line. Looks to throw over the middle, and nice pass play by the defensive backfield of Fort Morgan as it was broken up by Brian Almanza, and also I believe it was Frank Rosales there as they hit that receiver almost simultaneously as the ball got there. So nice defensive play in the defensive backfield of Fort Morgan to knock that ball away.
Yep. See Jake Norris out there now at right tackle. The junior getting some reps.
So 3rd and 13 for Weld Central from the Mustang 48 as they line up under center. As they back starts moving, it'll be pitched out to the right. He'll get across midfield to 45 and hit hard at about the Mustang 40. And not sure who that was.
Zerker.
So they will put that down at the 39-yard line.
That was number 81.
So that'll bring up about 4th and 5 from the 39-yard line of Fort Morgan. So we have one receiver right and left, single backfield, Behill under center. So he waits for the snap, and he rolls out to his left, being hounded, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of the receiver. Should have been caught. I don't know if he had got enough for the first down as he was being tightly guarded by Dalen Mugenberg, I believe is who that was, number 81. So a turnover on downs.
And good job by the second team, JV, whatever you want to call them, to preserve that shutout.
So this is going to bring the third quarter to an end. So at the end of 3, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 57, Weld Central nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Legion Field in Fort Morgan as the second string offense is out on the field. Dalen Knapp under center, hands it off up the middle, and that is to Rosales. He gets about 3 yards, I believe, out to the 43-yard line. We'll give him 4 yards. Out to the 43-yard line, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from the 43 for Fort Morgan. Nice run there of 4 yards.
A strange fact of a running clock, that was Fort Morgan's first offensive play. And we're in the second half, and we're already in the third quarter.
Yeah. So 2nd down and handoff over the right side. Gets it out to the 46-yard line.
Wesley Horton on the stop for the Weld Central.
So that will bring up a 3rd down.
It's going to be
About a third. Across the 46. It's going to be about a 3rd and 3 from the 46 for Fort Morgan as they will continue to run the ball as they set up in the I formation. Dalen Knapp at quarterback. I formation. It's going to be a pitch back around the right side to Wunsch, and he is going to be just short of the first down, it looks like, so that'll bring up about a 4th and 1 as Elliott Wunsch takes it a couple of yards out to the 48.
Yeah, he spent a little too much time dancing and needed to cut that up. When you only need 3 yards, it's not time to dance around and try and break a long one. It's head upfield, carry a couple guys with you. I like this. Coach is going to punt the ball and pin Weld Central back to give his defense a little more practice and not have the pressure of having to take him on at midfield.
So Tate Kimball in to punt for the Mustangs as Weld Central sends Dustin Robluski back. A nice punt by Tate Kimball as that drives him and goes over his head and bounces and it will be down at about the 13-yard line. And I believe that was Austin Cosman, I believe, that downed that ball there.
At about the 12-yard
So
line,
the
Weld Central
Rebels will take over 1st and 10. Looks like they mark it at the 13-yard line.
Another weapon, Tate Kimball, not only can he run the ball really good, but he also punts well. Got a great kicker, a great punter, and good coverage when we're doing that. So that's a good thing.
So 9:20 and counting here, 4th period.
We did figure out who number 75 was. That's Nate Cage. So
he is back in there. Looks like Anthony Arroyo back in there also for the Mustangs. Shotgun formation for the Rebels as they look like they set up in a flex formation. A flag is thrown, but the play continues as they get it out to the 15-yard line. So we'll see him. It was thrown from the back, Judge, which I would think would be movement on Weld Central. We'll see what the referee comes up with here as he comes across the field. Procedure against Weld Central, and it is declined, so that will bring up a 2nd and 8 as they get it out a couple of yards to the 15-yard line. So they set up in a 2 wing backs, 2 wide receivers as they get the snap in the shotgun formation, a handoff up the middle, and he will get it out to probably the 16-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 1. So they'll bring up a 3rd and 7 from the 16.
I think that's still Reese carrying the ball for him. Mm-hmm. That's what we talked last week to the coaches at Chick-fil-A on the way back from the game. They talked about them running this double wing offense. This is the first time we've really seen it tonight.
So 3rd and 7 from the 16 for Weld Central as they set up in that same formation. Shotgun, and he looks over to the left side. It's going to be well over the head of his intended receiver, Edwin Carrillo. So that'll bring up a 4th and 7 from the 16 for the Rebels. So not much going right here tonight for the Rebels. High Plains Bank offers a wide variety of products that can be customized to fit your individual needs. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. So Kyle Daniels back for the Mustangs, just right at midfield, as Alex Reese gets ready to punt the ball. Snap back, left-footed kick. Nice kick downfield. We'll see if it goes out. Kyle Daniels will just grab it and then run out of bounds at about the 38-yard line of the Mustangs. So we'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 38 for the Mustangs with 6:19 to go here in counting in the 4th period.
Maybe Fort Morgan can get a sustained drive of about 6 plays and end the game.
As we get our 2nd string offense back in there, we have Austin Crosscobb into the game as Fort Morgan gets ready to go on their offensive possession area. Sophomore for Fort Morgan. Dalen Knapp still in at quarterback. It's going to be a handoff over the left side. It looked like a little late there, but they didn't throw a flag. It's going to be a 2nd down for Fort Morgan.
Rosales comes up limping a little bit.
So that was a gain of 1. So 2nd and 9 for Fort Morgan from the 39-yard line. Corp Continental is your GMC Chevrolet and Buick sales and service provider. Pre-owned super centers ready to serve you in Sterling, Yuma, Julesburg, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Find them at www.corpautogroup.com. Handoff again over the left side, this time to Elliott Wunsch. Hard run there. He gets it across the 40 and out to about the 44-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 3 after that run by Elliott Wunsch.
This Kids are running hard, and the line's still opening up holes.
See, we have number 61 in the game, David Cox, a senior offensive lineman. Left tackle. Dalen Knapp pitches it back to a new runner and gets it across the 45, across midfield. And that is going to be George Perea, a sophomore.
Yep. A good run by him all the way into Rebel territory.
That's going to be a Mustang first down.
So this Fort Morgan second string offense is doing another nice job here for Fort Morgan. Excuse me, handoff up the middle. Might have got a gain of 2. And we'll see who that was. I'm not sure. Number Austin Crosscobb up the middle on that play.
Nice hard running. Gain 3 before the entire team grabbed him and hauled him back.
So got a gain of 2, so we'll call it 2nd and 8 from the 47-yard line. 3:33 to go here in the game. Fort Morgan up 57-0 over Weld Central. So Dalen Knapp pitches it back again to Elliott Wunsch around the left end, looking for a block. Gets a block, he gets it down inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. So that'll be about a 3rd and 4 from the 44-yard line for Fort Morgan.
Good running by Wunsch.
See Trey McBride into the game. Got a left end. Also Dawson Frick. On the right end is the Mustang set up in a full house backfield. Going to be a handoff to Perea again. Not much running there as he gets maybe 1. And Weld Central is going to call a timeout. I guess they want to try and get the ball back one more time before they have to load the buses and go back home. Some of our sponsors here again tonight: Brush Grocery Cart. Stop, shop, and save on all your groceries, needs, and snacks for game time enjoyment. You can also pay your public service bill and access Western Union. Brush Grocery Cart, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. South Platte Sentinel. Get the most comprehensive news, sports, and opinion from the South Platte Sentinel. Visit their website at southplattesentinel.com. First National Bank in Fleming. Bank your financial needs with a Logan County home-owned bank since 1917. First National Bank in Fleming, member FDIC. So that will bring up a 4th down and 3 here for Fort Morgan. It looks like they are going to punt again as Tate Kimball receives the ball. He is also a left-footed kicker. That looks like that will go into the end zone for the touchback. I didn't realize he was a left-footed punter until just then. So 2:22 to go. And counting as Weld Central will take over one more time to see if they can put any points on the board.
One thing I was going to mention was that if you weren't out in downtown, about 4 o'clock today, they had a great parade. The parade involved all the floats. The middle school produced a float. We also had all the Fort Morgan youth football teams, kids marching along, and it was really fun. The band was there, and the team came by, and the buses. And so that was kind of a neat thing this afternoon, too.
So handoff up the middle, and no go there for the Weld Central Rebels, as they do just get it back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 20. I know they had a fun week for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Homecoming week all week. I know the soccer team had 2 games this week. I believe they've won both of them. And then volleyball has also been on a streak. And I believe they're 6-0 now in conference. So we're down to almost a minute to go It's a keeper by the quarterback, and he is going to be taken down inside the 15 at about the 14-yard line.
Stacked up at the 14-yard line.
So that'll bring up about a 3rd and 16 from the 14-yard line. We're now under a minute, down to 49 seconds.
Can't believe the coach meant for it to look like that when it was all diagrammed. I think maybe he turned the wrong way, didn't have anyone to hand off, and was smart enough to fall down rather than getting smashed.
So they have a sophomore quarterback in there, Levi Lemons, now down to 30 seconds as they're setting their flex. Ball goes on the ground. He picks it up and then goes down again. It's going to be another loss of about 1, so that's going to bring up a 4th at about 17, and that should be the last play of the game as we are down to 15 seconds.
And now Will Central wants to call a timeout. Get one more play in. Put in the triple Lindy reverse. A little reference to Rodney Dangerfield there.
And if they get that in, that'll be a 50-point play, and they'll still lose by 7. So.
That's right. Fort Morgan Fire Department out there in the dark, getting ready to light off the end of the game series of fireworks and the lights of people leaving the stadium in their vehicles.
So a fun week here for the Fort Morgan Mustangs and all facets of their games and everything that they have done this week.
And I think the dance is going to be a little fun for most of those kids too.
Should be, yeah. I guess that will be tomorrow night at Fort Morgan High School. So we have 10.4 seconds left here in the game. So they're going to split 2 receivers wide right, 2 left. Fort Morgan has players down to about the 40-yard line as they are, Weld Central is spread out. So we'll see what they come up with as he may be sacked. Oh, almost got away. He did get away. He is going to be sacked in the backfield, and that is going to be Austin Croscobb. And Nathan Cage was also back there. So at the end of the game, the Fort Morgan Mustangs 57, Weld Central Rebels nothing. We'll be back with the post-game show after this brief message on B106 and B106.com. Back at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs are victorious 57-0 over Weld Central. This Fort Morgan post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. So 57-0. It was 50-0 at halftime. The only scoring in the second half was a 90-yard kickoff return by Eric Flugoff, something we hadn't seen this year. We haven't had many punt returns, or kickoff returns, excuse me. And Eric Flugoff took it up the right side on some nice holes made by the kickoff return team. So the Fort Morgan Mustangs come away victorious again, stand now at 2-0 in league play. The game that will be coming up next will be next Saturday at 1 o'clock at Lutheran High School in Parker. I think Kevin has got a few stats for us here from the game.
Absolutely. We ended up the game with Weld Central having a total of 24 yards offense. That 24 yards came this way. 2 of 13 passing with 1 interception and 2 completions, or 3 yards. That's after 5 sacks for a loss of 23 yards. Running, they ran 25 times for 21 yards, so add that up, 24 yards. Total domination by Fort Morgan's defense, both the varsity and the JV. Fort Morgan, on the other hand, continued to have success, and Joey Snyder didn't play the second half, so our passing ended up 1 of 3 for 15 yards with no interceptions. Cosman got that one reception, and it was for a touchdown. Running, we had a total of 27 carries for 183 yards. First half, Snyder had 1 for 3 yards. Tate Kemble, 5 for 87 and 2 touchdowns. Toby McBride ran 7 times for 23 yards and 2 touchdowns. Arroyo ran twice for 25 yards and a touchdown. And some players that also played in the second half, Rosales added to his with 2 more carries, ending the night with 4 carries for 13 yards. Wunsch carried the ball 4 more times, ending the night 5 carries for 22 yards. Perea carries the ball 2 times for 8 yards, and Crosskop 1 time for 2 yards. So again, Fort Morgan, 27 rushes for 183 yards, 1 of 3 for 15 yards passing, and a total offense of 198 yards. So total domination, offense, defense, and in the special teams.
Yeah. Once again, though, not real impressive numbers on the offensive side, but when you have short field to work with or recover, a fumble in the end zone, or it was a fumble, I guess, hike over the head of the punter, run one back on offense or on a punt. So there isn't anything this Fort Morgan team hasn't done right now, hasn't done wrong. Everything they do seems to turn out right, but we'll see what happens next week when they end up playing the number 1 team in the state. I think that's going to be our point that we see just what this team is really made of. We've gone, I believe it was 18 quarters we've gone since giving up any points. That was in the first game of the season. So it'll be a battle, that's for sure. It'll be at Lutheran. So hopefully these guys will be well rested and will be able to play full 4 quarters, because they haven't played 4 quarters yet. So
absolutely, and it's going to be different because it's going to be Saturday. Luckily, we've been playing in some heat, so it may not seem that hot playing on a Saturday afternoon, but that'll be different playing on our official turf. We had 1 game against Arvada there where we had on that, and that didn't seem to bother us. So we're going to continue to improve, and I'm sure Coach Chisholm's going to tell them, every week in the pregame he talks about the quality of the opponent we're playing and how they could really put up yards and everything to keep the kids humble. I think he's going to talk to them this week about how we've accomplished so much, but this next week is our true test of the season.
Yep.
And I think the kids will respond. I don't think they'll come out flat. It's not brush. And for whatever reason, every year, well, I shouldn't say every year, but a lot of years we go over to brush or they come here, and it's just lining up against them is different. And we just don't seem to jump on them like we do on other teams. So, and give a lot of credit to Brush. I've not taken anything away from Brush. But we, like you said, this will be the test. We'll see what they're going to be like.
See what they're made of when it comes game time next Saturday at 1 o'clock at Lutheran High School. So if you can make it to the Parker Field next weekend, the boys would sure be glad to be able to have your support there, that's for sure. And they had a nice crowd here tonight for homecoming. That was good to see. So I think we'll go ahead and close this out. The sound engineer and producer of Fort Morgan Mustangs football has been Braden Godin. The producer for Fort Morgan Mustang Replay is Alan Lance. For Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel. Once again, the final score tonight, Fort Morgan 57, Weld Central nothing. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.